Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Ink and Fig. My name is Alex, and it is a brand new year. Happy 2023. I can't believe we made it, honestly. I'm sure, as all of you saw, 2022 was a bit of a struggle for me, but it is over now, and we're into a new year. We're 3 days in, and I am actually already kind of knocking it out of the park, not to toot my own horn, but so far it's going quite well. I've already finished a book. Granted, it was one of my December reads, but I still finished it. And I have started another book. I will go ahead and show you what that is because I'm hoping to work this into my TBR today, but you know, you never know what's going to happen. So I started reading Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. Very dense literature so far. I'll come up with some full thoughts about it later on when I do a wrap up or as I continue reading it. But basically the crux of it is I want to work this into my TBR this month so that I'm not just like reading it for the sake of adding another book to my TBR, because I have already stated on my Instagram that this is going to be my book for the now year-long readathon for Book Roast's Aurelium Adventure in Aldea situation. So if you haven't been looking over at Book Roast lately, the Aurelium setting has now expanded to be, or to include, a year-long sort of choose-your-own-adventure map. And every month you get one singular prompt, and the very first choice that you have to make is either turn left or right. I have turned left, which means start a series, and this is the first book in a series. So this is my adventure. So I'm hoping that I can work that in today so that I don't have to find another book. You know, that I don't have to read this on top of everything else that I'm planning on reading. Also, I'm sorry about the lighting situation behind me. Please bear with me. So without further ado, let's get into the Lunar TBR for our first TBR of January. I haven't published my reading wrap-up for December yet. I haven't filmed my reading wrap-up for December yet, but I am pleased to announce that I did finish Medicine Walk by Richard Wagamese, which means that I won Lunar TBR. It took me about 10 months, I think, to finish that round, which was a lot. But I got through it and it's done. And now I need to figure out what exactly my prize is going to be for that. So if you have any thoughts on that, please leave that down below because I need some assistance. But that means that with a fresh year comes a fresh lunar cycle for our Lunar TBR. How wonderful is that? So let's get into it and figure out what I'm reading to start this whole thing off. All right, so in addition to starting a new thing, I have also decided that I'm not doing it in my bullet journal this year, and we're just going to use this as a play mat. So I just drew this up. I think it looks pretty okay. Kind of bare bones, but that's all right. I'm a minimalist at heart. So I'm going to be playing as this little citrine tower, and we're going to start here on the new moon and work our way around. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, roll number 1 is a 4. That is an automatic moon. Let's go this way. We can't possibly have started off any better than with already a chance at a moon here. So let's get this rolling. We are using, once again, the Tarot of the Divine by Yoshi Yoshitani. I used this last month, I believe. Wow, my background lighting is going absolutely haywire. I am so sorry. Okay. Woo! All right, let's pick this one. The Empress. Read a book by a female author of color. All right, so after some perusing of my TBR, I have decided to go with Spark by YC Leung. She is a Calgarian author whom I met at one of my local Indigo locations, and she was signing her book. So I have this copy of it. I know not a whole lot about it. This is her debut novel, so I don't know a lot about her as an author either. But basically, this is a post-apocalyptic story about some teenagers who have to escape the danger zone is kind of what I am understanding from this. I'm not going to read any more into it because I always like to be surprised by my new books, but this is going to be my first lunar read of the new year. All right, so we're starting out strong. Let's see what roll number 2 is. Another 4? Another 4? What? Okay. All right, I'm listening. 2 moons. The beginning of a new cycle is always wild. There's always so much opportunity to catch new moons just all over the place. Oh, hello. All right, apparently the Ace of Coins wants to come to play. So this has kind of thrown me for a loop. The Ace of Coins, being the Ace of Pentacles just by a different name, is read a debut novel, which Spark would also work for. So now I'm wondering if I should go get a different book for my first prompt, because I can't think of any other debut novels that I have on my shelf at the moment. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So Ace of Coins, we're gonna do Spark. And then for the Empress, I'm gonna go find another book. One moment. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it on the local author spectrum, and I'm going to read The Sleeping Car Porter by Suzette Mayer. Now, I think I've talked about Suzette Mayer before. I was very privileged to be able to take her creative writing class back when I was in university. And this book, The Sleeping Car Porter, just won the Scotiabank Gillard Prize. I'm so proud of her. I cannot believe, like, I can believe, but like I cannot believe, you know what I mean? So I know extremely little about this except for the fact that it is about race and it is about queerness and it is very, very close to Suzette's heart. So I'm really excited to read this and learn a little bit more about her through it. All right, if we roll another 4, I'm gonna call this game rigged. Okay, 6. So 4, 5, 6. We're just gonna keep it going this way. I'm getting kind of stressed out with all of these moons, so I'm kind of glad that I have one that isn't for a moon. It's a lot of responsibility for 1 month is getting 2. Of course, I say that and watch the third one be a moon also. This is just gonna be a wild month. Okay, what's this? 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is read a book with gold on the cover. I'm side-eyeing Marlon James over here because there is some gold down here, or well, gold color, not necessarily like gold detailing, but like gold color, you know what I mean? Does that count, or am I just like cheesing it? However, I also didn't read the Atlas 6 last month. We will talk about this in my December wrap up, but I had a weird month last month. I think I'm gonna cheese it and say that I'm gonna use that for the 3 of Cups, but I'm gonna hold that in case the next thing that comes up fits better, and then we'll take it from there. All right, and our last roll. No, are you serious? 2, oh my God. 3 moons? The beginning of a new cycle is very stressful. Why? Okay, no, this is fine. This is fine. This is good. That means that we're just that much closer to, you know, a win. What's this? Judgment. We get this a lot. Okay, so once again, I think for the 3rd month running, Judgment is read a book with a higher than 4-star rating. Now, unfortunately, that does not count for Black Leopard Red Wolf because on Storygraph, the rating for this is 3.53. So I am going to go ahead and call that for the gold on the cover prompt, being as there is some gold coloring in the details at the bottom here, and I'm just going to call that what it is because I got to fit this in here somewhere. Higher than 4-star rating. Actually, I think, so I mentioned that I hadn't read the Atlas 6 yet, and I haven't, and I think that one was higher than 4 stars. Let me go check. Okay, so much to my surprise, the Atlas 6 is actually only like a 3.69 on Storygraph right now, so that does not count for the Judgment card. Now, however, I did just finish, finally, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and it was fantastic, and Hellbent comes out in 7 days. And I just checked, and it is currently pulling a 4.69 on Storygraph, which means that it meets our criteria for Judgment. So although I don't have it here, I'm going to be reading Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo come the end of this month. What I am reading this month's very interesting, eclectic mix of stuff. I'm going to be reading these 3 books plus Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. We've got Black Leopard Red Wolf by Marlon James. We have The Sleeping Car Porter by Suzette Mayer, and we have Spark by Y.C. Leung. 2 of these are Calgarian authors, which I'm extremely excited about, and the other author, although not Calgarian, I am still extremely excited for, and Hellbent, I think like me and everybody else, we're all just stoked on that. Pray for me. I've got 3 moons to meet this month, and I am not certain that I'm going to be able to do it. I am scared. But you know, new year, new confidence. So that's what I'm going to try to tell myself this year. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to have a lot more stuff to show you this year. I'm hoping that my mental health continues on the upward trend that I've been having over the last couple of weeks, because that has been really nice. Go ahead and follow me on all of my social media at Ink and Fig, and don't forget to subscribe down below, hit that little bell so that you know when I upload, and give this video a like and a comment if you feel so moved, so that other people can come and find my videos as well. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.